Hey, welcome to today's session. This is going to be a game changer. I'm going to walk you through a client consultation at the same time going through the script and building an understanding of the right questions to use, why you must never miss temp checks, why you must never miss tying downs, why you must never miss the pillars. In this particular example, pillars are missed, temp check is missed, and which means that without the pillars, it doesn't make any sense. It massively reduces your sale. So without further ado, let's get cracking into it.
Old, yeah.
And so please tell me your situation.
Yeah.
So the recording doesn't start when straight away. So I don't know if we've done this, okay? I'm going to assume yes, because it's very simple. If you don't start with that frame, it doesn't set up the cell. And tell me about your current situation is too generic. And so what is your biggest challenge specifically with your son's autism? Regardless of what niche, right, pick the specific problem. What is your biggest problem, specific problem, right? Name that specific problem. What is your problem with getting clients? What is your biggest problem right now with your child's autism? Otherwise, if you don't have that, it goes all over the place. If it goes all over the place, it's just going to take more time. What's your challenge with what's your current situation? Well, I'm currently in London and I want to be somewhere else. Well, what's that got to do with it? Nothing. But if you weren't specific in the beginning, it doesn't make any sense. Got it? Okay, you have to have that, essential.
Eldest son diagnosed the autism and behavior difficulties.
So autism, behavioral difficulties, older son.
At the moment, I'm too much suffering from that disease because he's grown up and he giving too much trouble at the moment. I am so nervous sometimes.
Got it? I'm so nervous sometimes, right? That's our first real one. You got to pay attention. At the beginning is where they actually, normally within like 3 minutes, they have told you the exact problem and you haven't listened.
I am doing every care for him, but I'm never give up on him because he don't like to go to school.
I'm never going to give up on him, right? I'm going to write that down. Okay, what you're nervous about? I am never going to give up upon him. So later on the conversation, towards the sales process, I'm going to say, so as you know, you'd never give up on him, and then link that to the sale.
He so much things at the moment. And my second son also had diagnosed autism, but it's going work in diagnose.
So not just one son, two sons.
But the problem now at the current situation is the problem my eldest son, because he's too much hitting. He's not shy with any other. Sometimes no eye contacts.
So one son is beating the other one up. Not good.
He's too much hitting to me and
hitting her.
The sibling also same. And my husband and me at the moment so much stressful.
Yes. And how long is that happening right now?
Okay, so completely missed the problem. Right? So go straight into how long, haven't completely missed the problem. So what are you nervous about? Right? If you miss the problem at the beginning, you're not clarifying why it's a real problem, right? So you've missed like getting into the crux of it. So the likelihood of a sale coming just won't happen. So look, you said you're nervous about that. What are you nervous about? What does that mean to you? Right, that's going to increase the amount of pain. That's what we need to do so that they actually do something with it. If they don't do something with it, it's going to make no difference, right? If you don't create an awareness around the problem that they're having, they'll just carry on delusionally because that's how humans work, right? They just continue to operate with the least path of resistance. They don't want to look at the problem. So what are you nervous about specifically? Tell me more about that. Okay, that is in. So what's your biggest problem? What does that mean to you? You know, and like, tell me more about how does that make you feel? Why do you want to get rid of that, right? Not straight to how long have you had it, because we haven't got any clarity yet on what it is. Okay. Nice, quick, concise questions, great tone. What does it make you feel when your son is hitting your other son? What does it make you feel when you're being hit by your own son? You have the son you love and he's hitting you and abusing you and your husband. How does that make you feel? What does that mean to you? And empathize with the real problem.
Actually, we manage from him, but he has all the time he's run away.
So she hasn't answered the question because she hasn't processed what the question is. The reason being is because she was expressing what the problem is, and then she's seen that as like I'm fixing it, sort of. She hasn't actually listened to the question. The question is, how long have you had it for? And she's not answered.
He's going home. Last 2 months ago, he opened, when I'm in the bathroom, he opened the door and he's run away to the shop. But we didn't know anything. And the police came and found him. And because I'm so much crying at the time because...
the police found...
I don't know how to explain about his situation, but at the moment worse, but government giving carers, professionals, everything.
So he ran away.
Support him. He's having a team, but he's going to school, but no, he don't like to go to school the morning. He's very fussy. But my husband both of giving so much encourage to him go to school and doing the works, learning things. But he's very frustrated because he can't talk not much.
Son's in a real situation where he's in a really bad situation, can't go to school. This is a real frustration. We've got to work on how does that make you feel? Tell me more about that. Because parental situations, like immediately she expressed how she felt, and then she wants to cover it up immediately, which is natural because no one wants to. Hey, look, I'm a bad parent. They want to be like, I can sort this out, but you have to get deeper into the problem for them to feel that connection that you understand. If there's no connection with you understanding the problem, they're not going to buy. It's very logical. So you haven't really taken the time to be human and care about what that is because you haven't heard it.
That's the biggest problem. But a little bit improving. Then sometimes he's talking like a sentence, little bit, not much, but he's improving a little bit.
Yeah. So is he going to a special school?
Yeah.
So again, you haven't built off any of the, wow, so tell me more about that. The police, why did he run away? That must have been really tough for you to handle. Okay. So we're getting into like what the problem is. So notice this is not just ask questions. This is like a diagnostic of the problem. And if you haven't got a diagnostic of the problem, we can't move just to the next question. Is going to a special school is very logical. And so therefore it's taken her out of the emotion. Imagine you have a child, they run away. Like that must be horrendous for any mother to go through, How does that make you feel, Okay, cool. So you understand the problem better.
I try to send a special school because that's why that is my fault because maybe he started school at that time. I get that decision. Maybe he will more improving. But at the moment, I didn't get that decision. So, but I asked him from the council, but they said maybe they're not this year. Next year they are transferring to the mainstream special needs school.
At the moment, he's going to mainstream school.
Yes.
And I'm going to repeat my question. For how long he has these behavior challenges?
Good bringing it back to that.
He started 3 years old.
That was the original question that she ignored, but missed the core problem. Okay, what are you nervous about? I'm never going to give up on him was her, that's her, like, her command to self, right? I'm never, that we can use that later. What does it make you feel when your son hits your other son? Hits your other son. And then what is, these are the core, that's the core. What does it make you feel when your son hits you or your husband? Right? So your son ran away and got found by the police? Tell me more about that. How does that make you feel? That's the real problem. All right, at the moment, now, does he go to a normal school? Okay, that's probably relevant for understanding, but it's very logic based.
He's not much like that much, but 3 years old. When I go to the park, he's run away everywhere. So much running, because I'm very tired. I'm very tired. I'm going outside because he's fell down everywhere. He's screaming, and then my husband has same, because he also when we go outside,
Of course she's tired, because she's like running around looking after a child that is going through some serious behavioural problems. So again, if I'm still not on some emotion, I'd be like, so look, you said you were very tired. Tell me more about that. How does that make you feel?
Fell down and asked even.
So this must be really important for you to fix. Okay, so what have you tried before that hasn't worked? Okay. And so is he in a normal school or is he in a special? Okay, cool. And okay, so had you wanted him to go to a special school, or was it finances? I'd want to get the finances on this situation as quick as possible so that I can understand it, where she's at. You know, like a normal school, a specialised school. What was the reason that you didn't want to go for that? Was it finances? Again, I'm mind reading, but I'm going to assume that that's the situation.
When I go to the shop, he's asking so many things and crying, fell down. So that's why.
How that makes you feel?
Good.
I'm telling truth, very stressful, but I'm always getting encouraging everything, because my husband, I'm giving a lot of, because my husband gets too much stress. But I always explain that.
Good, sharp, short questions. How does that make you feel? Cool. That's good.
This situation, this condition is like these situations going. So you have to you have to be patient. You have to do like don't shout to him. Don't. We have to do the very careful for manage with him. But sometimes I also get angry, get depressions, so much things come into the body, but I always want to release.
So this was happening for the last 3 years, and it's getting worse, or is it getting better?
So here, don't ask, is it getting better? So how is it getting worse over the last 3 years? Because she's been on a call, and if it was getting better, she wouldn't be there. So you don't need to ask that. So how is it getting worse? Keep it in the problem. Again, remember, if you don't keep it in the problem, there's no solution off the back of that. And you disservice your client if you do not open up the problem so they do something about it. Whether they do it with you or not, that's up to them. So this is not manipulation. This is like, let's help you to bring awareness to the emotions that are really available here, so that you're not going to be a delusional human and do nothing about it, and you can take action off the back of this. There's two choices: do it yourself at the end, or do it with me. That's it. And so you disservice someone by being too kind, being too coaching. Oh, it's okay, don't worry. All of our children have bad behaviors. You imagine that? Like, I'm really worried about my child. Oh, don't worry, they'll be all right. That's no good. Oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. All children go through this. It'll be all right. No, it might not be. If you don't sort out your kid, they end up, who knows, getting on, drugs, because you can't sell them effectively on how to live an authentic life without, in an appropriate amount of love and balance between between that child. And if you don't sell them on why they shouldn't do drugs, then they're going to be sold by their friends to take drugs. It's always selling.
Behavior is getting better, but at the moment it's going like very worse.
So is it more like going better and then getting worse, going better and then getting worse?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice degree of showing, like, is it going up? Is it coming down? Like, you get to 1 minute and then it goes down again. So you haven't had the right support. Okay, makes sense. So you're seeding in the cell there.
Yes. And
sometimes very quiet, some days, some periods. It's going worse and then get down. And again, some days, some months.
Do you know why is that happening? Do you have an idea why is that happening?
I had experience, maybe when he's going to the school, he's very quiet because it's same routine going, but the routine is changed. School.
Good listening. Good question on. Do you know why it's been like this? Versus you could just go one step further. So why is it getting worse? Why has it been going like this versus why has it been getting worse? So, because it's going to get worse unless you do something about it. Something's not working.
Holidays time, school is closed. He's long day at home, and then started first day, second day, third day again because the normal routine is changes. He's very confused.
Yes. Okay, I get it. So now you told me that you have some assistants, some carers, assistants. Do you have them now, or is it in the process of organizing it?
No, I have. I have support workers, healthcare workers, the hospitals supporting for us.
Do you have anyone coming home and helping on a regular basis?
No, at the moment, no. But we are going to we have maybe if getting worse, we are going to apply for that.
Do you have a social worker that works with him? And with him?
No, not social worker at the moment.
So what have you done, or what help are you getting to resolve his behavior problems, his speech delay? What have been done so far?
See, again, this is very logical, and what we're missing here is deepening the problem. So because we haven't deepened the problem, 8 minutes in, we're like, what have you done that hasn't worked? And it's like, we haven't really built an understanding to the problem. And because we haven't really understood, because you've got to think of from her perspective, because she's sitting there going, she's going through this emotion. Imagine your friend tells you something that they really want to express, and it's really personal, and then you don't talk about it. It's a bit weird, isn't it? And it's like, as a consultant, you have to go into what is the root cause. And so it's a bit too early on. We haven't really linked any pain, and now we're observing the past. So it's 8 minutes in. It's just a little bit too long. We haven't got enough detail on the problem. I'd rather you spend more time on the emotions of the problem and then go, look, okay, cool. All right, what have you tried? Okay, cool, back to the emotions. And why didn't that work? Why haven't you been able to figure it out? Finances, check. Does your husband support it? Check. All right, is this something you're serious about doing? Check. Go back to the emotions. And you keep on building it up. And then when you switch to, the transition, which is completely missed here, there's no transition, there's no pillars. And so without the transition, without the pillars, without a TEM check, you're just kind of like telling someone what to do.
Speech and language therapy is coming every 4 months, and the hospital doing his all the investigations and all that. He's transferred neurodiversity team for the hospital is transferred the neurodiversity team. They're doing his I don't know the name. Maybe medical. Yeah, he's having the medical team. They are, but any therapy, but he doesn't have at the moment.
have you looked privately at some therapy, and have you tried?
No, this is a great start to look at finances. Look, there could be some slight language barriers with our client here. She's not extremely clear of what has happened versus what isn't. So I'm not really clear on what she has done and what she hasn't done. But then the goal is, like, let's look at why. So have you done any externals? Like, what again? It's not just the answer. What was the reason that you haven't hired professionals before?
Tried something to help with his behavior problem and all this? Have you tried any therapeutic help?
Not yet. At the moment, not yet.
Have you looked into it?
But my husband and me asked any therapy, or because the behavior difficulties in, actually we cannot live with him because sometimes he's hurting to us, he's hurting to siblings. Hello, sorry. But at the moment we don't have any therapist, or because I'm originally from Sri Lankan, the Sri Lanka also having any therapies, and but still we didn't go there.
If she gets it on the government or not. Has she got the money to invest?
Some Ayurvedic, the herbal treatments, also giving any also giving for that kind of disease for the medicine. But I don't know.
I'm going to speed up a little bit.
Not getting from support you already have.
Right, this was good.
What I hear, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Good.
What I hear, that with everyone who is around you, and school, and those support workers, and those team, and those people, you still don't feel that you're getting right support. Am I right?
This was really good, and she continued to, like, what is it that you're missing? But the thing is that she doesn't really know, and it wasn't because when you're asking someone what's missing and they don't have an answer, it's because they don't know. So therefore you don't need to keep drilling it. And in this situation, Olga drills her 3 or 4 times maybe, and yeah, it's not needed because it's like they just don't know the answer. That's why you need the pillars.
No, they're giving the support.
Yes.
They are giving the support, so much support. That is
the most active. Until 8 years old, before how you work.
I don't know. The whole situation is still, we are not giving any medicine. Sometime I wanted to give, but at the moment I controlling. I didn't give any medicine because actually autism.
This was have you medicated the child? And great. I mean, I'm personally a big believer of not, but I can understand if you get to the stage where you're really nervous. She's obviously very tired dealing with it. It's going to be a natural solution for some people to say, look, I just need to medicate my child because I can't deal with it. Again, you've got so look, that must have been really tough. Like, you must be on the edge of, like, like, you're being human. It must be really hard. Not having the right support. The last 3 years, it's getting worse. I mean, can I ask you a personal question? How's your relationship bearing up? Is it taking an impact? Wow, this is tough. Like, this is really, like, this lady has a real tough situation trying to deal with it, and she's on the edge of, like, medicating her child, and that's why she's there. So she is a hot purchaser. At the end, she's got no qualms with the money. It's just we've missed connection with the problem. We've missed the pillars. We miss transition. We miss temp check. And so we're about to go into a huge coaching process.
Don't have any medicine. He can get the stress for something, but he don't get it anything. No medicine for. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me what you're doing for the behavior difficulties? For you have which package you have?
So this is transition into, like, tell me what you do, right? And so if you followed the script, right, like, if someone says, like, tell me what you do, well, you should be like, if you've got really good on the problem, right, clarified what the problem is, really got the emotions out, really like, so how are you getting to the outcome? Okay, so you don't have a method in place. Okay, well, wow, that must be really tough. Well, let's look at, when you look at your numbers specifically, tell me specifically like what's the process that you're currently doing to help your child? Like, oh, okay, and then you get the medication. Oh, wow, so you're on the edge of, so you're looking at the solution to your child through medication. Wow, that must be tough. And look, fair play for you for holding out, but I guess that's why you're here. So look, what happens if you don't do this now? As in fix your son? Is it going to get worse? You do this here, all right? Olga ends up asking that question just before the pitch. You never do that, all right? So, okay, so tell me more about what you have tried that hasn't worked. Okay, so what's the cost of that not working? Again, this is all before the pitch, not after the pitch. So in the past, tell me more about like what you think he needs. And that was like, what are you missing? And she didn't really know. So that's, again, normal. And so she said, look, tell me about what it is that you need. Okay, so if I've gone through most of that and I've got to that stage, so for sure, I can 100%, like what we do is we work with, you're right here now, cell destination. What we do, all right, is we work with mums that are going through stress and are on the edge of, giving medication to their son, but they want a more alternative, holistic approach. That's exactly what she is. How do we do that? So write this down, all right? So you know what you said earlier about you getting really nervous, right? And you're just really upset. Step number 1, we diagnose the situation around your child so that you can understand where the anxiety comes from. Once you understand that, and then you go through the pillar process, why this works, what is the benefit, then this is going to be a game changer for you, because you're going to understand where that anxiety comes from, as in your own personal anxiety, which is also going to devalue some of their anxiety, which in turn will help. That's the first step. Does that make sense? What questions do you have about that? Boom. All right, pillar number 2. You know what you said earlier about, if your pillars are, all right, we understand the root cause to why your child is anxious. Say, for example, that's the first pillar. The second pillar is we give you the right fundamental structures to retrain their mind and your mind, right? And then number 3, we give, ongoing support so that it doesn't recur back, right? So it's like we find the root cause, we fix the mindset, and then there's no repercussions. It might be as simple as that. So you know what you said earlier about when you're, when he ran away, and the reason why he ran away, I'm assuming, is because he can't deal with his life, and that's why he's so frustrated. So number 2, we're going to get into the mindset of what needs to occur to change. You don't need to overcook it, bang. And then number 3, you know what you said earlier about, it going up and down and up and down. We're going to make sure that consistently gets better. That's as simple as the pillars need to be. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. And so this stage now, this is just huge amounts of coaching, which is just like telling people stuff. It doesn't make any, you've got to understand your client doesn't understand what you know. And so therefore it's immediately like, it's going to blow their head up.
So let me come back a little bit to the therapies you have. Okay. So you said you have a speech and language therapy just a few times a year. Do they give to you need to use?
Mm-hmm.
What broad spectrum of speech therapy? And there is no such thing that one meeting every 3 months going to help anyone.
So this was a huge coaching section. And then just wanted to highlight this.
Call with us and you tell, I done that, it works like that.
And Olga is amazing at what she does. She's got Cambridge expertise. She's got, partner that's got huge amounts of, and it's how you're packaging the offer is amazing. It's just specific things with the offer. For example, she drops the offer and then the person says, so the person says, how much is it, right? So the person says, how much is it? And then She says, well, how much is it going to cost you for not doing it? And it's like, whoa, let me find this part.
That, or
Yeah.
it's working? Because when it's not working, how much it cost?
Oh, yeah?
How much do you think that could
This is it. So the lady says, how much does it cost?
be worth for you?
Sorry?
How much do you think it could be worth for you? How much you think it's worth
This
for you to
creates
have
massive
results in
buying
the next 3
resistance.
months?
Never, never, never. Follow the script.
Next 3 months, yeah.
She doesn't want to
Next 3
answer.
months.
It's really
I don't know,
uncomfortable.
but you said you have packages like
Yes, so before I get into investment part, before I get how much it cost for me, I wanted to ask, how much do you think may cost for you to have your child addressing your child's behavior and speech delay in the next 3 months? How much do you think that could be worth for you?
I don't know, but I cannot tell you how much. But your package giving because
Because she's genuinely trying to answer like, I don't know, because it's just after the pitch. Right, so she's asking how much it is. That's when you switch to the pitch, okay, and you tell them, in order, going through the pitch structure, okay, exactly word for word. There's no temp check, right? You need to have a temp check in there, otherwise it's not real. And let me explain the investment. Before we do that, let me explain the delivery. All right, so explain the delivery. So here's how we're going to get that. Okay, we do 2 lives, whatever the delivery is. So there's no explanation of delivery. The investment to get rid of. All right, someone says how much is it, and it's at the right stage. You tell them. You don't like, hang on a minute, let's build it up even more. So it's the investment to get rid of feeling really nervous for your child, right? And constantly being worried about whether it's up and down. So you can get to a stage where your child is balanced, not hitting you. And, they want to stay in school, they're balanced, and they have the rest of their life to look forward to in less than 90 days without wasting a load of time on things that don't work, that haven't worked. It's just an investment of 2,500. That's it. Boom. And you do that, and it'll happen. All right, quick session. Stick to the script. All right, build overview, build out the problem, listen to the problems. All right, if you miss the problems at the beginning, you're not understanding the client. If you don't understand the client from the beginning, the solution is not going to be at the end. It really is. If you go off the script and you start making it up on your own and just do stuff outside of this, it's not going to work. I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of consultations, and people still tell me, yeah, I changed it, and I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You have to stick to the framework, and you have to get better at understanding this. And look, if you do want to come to the advanced level, that is when I'd be taking you through and going through your calls on a weekly basis, me and the team, and operationally managing you how to scale, so you get access to myself once a week as well. And there's only so much you can achieve in like doing it on your own, but if I was there with you every week going through your core assets, we're just going to get it better and better and better. And this becomes a game changer very quickly, because you can't give yourself feedback on how to become better at selling without having someone else give you the feedback. So that's how we roll. So if you do want to do that, don't hang out, don't mess around, let's go. All right, as always, no matter what happens, never give up on your dreams, and I'll see you on the next session.